Have you ever wanted to be on a movie set? Well, you could move to Hollywood, get an agent, audition for years, and finally book a role. Or you could just go visit some iconic movie sets that are open to tourists. I decided to find out about some movie sets you can actually visit. From the childhood home of Indiana Jones to the castle where the X-Men train, the world is full of movie magic you can check out in person. Okay, quiet on set and action. If you're a Harry Potter fan, and even if you're not, there are a couple fun places you can visit. First, step into the enchanting world of Leadenhall Market, where magic meets muggles in the heart of London. This historic Victorian marketplace is filled with amazing architecture and is bustling with life. But more than that, it's a pilgrimage site for Potterheads worldwide. Fans will recognize it as the filming location for Diagon Alley in the movies. You know, where the wizards shopped for wands, robes, and peculiar magical creatures. So grab your wand, don your robes, and immerse yourself in the spellbinding ambiance of Leadenhall Market. Then there's Alnwick Castle, an ancient fortress that sits in the lush countryside of Northumberland. It's a quintessential English gem, though for Potter fans, it's more than just a castle. It's Hogwarts' school of witchcraft and wizardry come to life. Parts of the castle are open to summer visits, and while there, you can take broomstick lessons and watch a screening of a Potter movie. Avatar fans are very familiar with Pandora's floating Hallelujah Mountains. And no, those aren't real, so don't get too excited. But James Cameron based them on the mountains of Zhangjiajie National Forest Park in China. About 30 million people a year visit these stunning mountains, which have an otherworldly thin shape thanks to erosion over the millennia. What's wild is that after the success of Avatar, the Chinese government changed the name of the tallest peak in the forest to Avatar Hallelujah Mountain. So you can basically see a mountain named after a movie location, which was inspired by that very mountain. Are your eyes crossed yet? Next up is Hatley Castle, where mutant powers and cinematic marvels collide. This historic castle in British Columbia, Canada, is certainly a regal estate, but it's way more than that. It's Xavier's school for gifted youngsters in the X-Men films. You can explore the very halls where Professor X mentored mutant heroes and Magneto plotted his schemes. And even if you don't have powers, you can go check out this iconic setting firsthand. The castle was originally built for the lieutenant governor of the province, but then it was commandeered by the Canadian government during WW2 to use as a backup residence for the royal family in case the Germans launched an attack. These days, when it's not being used as a glorious movie set, it's the home of Royal Roads University, and that means you can go check it out in person. Just don't ask where they keep Cerebro, that joke is getting old. If you head due southwest from British Columbia, you'll eventually hit the lush island of Kauai. And on this breathtaking island, you'll find Hanapepe Valley, where ancient history meets Hollywood magic. This green paradise served as the backdrop for the thrilling scenes of Jurassic Park. In the original movie, there's a scene when the characters land on the island, and there's a giant waterfall in the background. These days, you'd probably assume it was CGI, but it's actually Hanapepe Valley. If you head to Kauai, you can book a spot and a guided tour that is Jurassic Park themed. And it won't only be the valley with the waterfall. There are a host of other spots on the island that they used as the backdrop of the dinosaur park. Fans of Lara Croft will certainly remember the stone palace that she visited in Lara Croft Tomb Raider. It's an incredible spot that honestly looks like it must have been just built for the movie, but it's actually Bayon Temple in Cambodia. Sitting within the ancient wonders of Angkor Thom, the temple stands as a testament to the grandeur of the Khmer Empire. When you walk into its maze-like corridors, you're not only transported back in time to the era when it was built as a Buddhist temple, but you'll also feel like a badass warrior with a long braid, like Lara. You can check out the face towers, which, not surprisingly, have carved faces all over them, and an assortment of hieroglyphs and other intricate carvings. In the charming town of Antonito, Colorado, sits a historic house that served as Indiana Jones's home in the classic film series. Fans of Indiana Jones will recognize it as the setting of a memorable sequence at the beginning of The Last Crusade. In it, a young Indiana, played by River Phoenix, is being chased by some grave robbers. He arrives at the house and runs through the door. Waiting there is the menacing glare of his dad, aka Sean Connery. These days, it actually functions as an Indiana Jones-themed bed and breakfast. You can book one of its 4 rooms, which are named the Holy Grail, the Crusaders, the Cortez, and the Coronado. And they actually have a picture of Sean Connery up on the wall near the entrance. Very cheeky. And while the house itself may not boast secret passageways or hidden artifacts, it's definitely a part of movie history. Fear can hold you prisoner, hope can set you free. If that meant anything to you, then you're probably a fan of The Shawshank Redemption. This epic prison movie ranks high on most lists of the best movies of all time, and you can visit the prison where they filmed most of it. The Ohio State Reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio, was built in the early 1900s, and it served as a functioning prison until 1990. These days, it gets visitors of two main varieties. One is paranormal fans, who are drawn by its rumored haunted status, and the other is Shawshank fans, who want to walk the yard looking for red or check out the interiors for that giant hole behind the Raquel Welch poster. So there you have it, some amazing natural and man-made sites where you can feel like you're a part of movie-making history. Of course, to visit all these on one trip would probably cost a pretty penny, so maybe split them up over a few years. Or don't, I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Know about any other movie sets you can visit? Pop them in the comments section.